All right, so we got the Sagittarius Juno transit. All right, this is something we don't want to overlook. You know what I mean? We want to stay focused about what this means, what this entails. All right, so the emphasis that I'm putting here is Sagittarius Juno transit. Understand? All right. So, first of all, Juno carries with us in transit our soul contracts, soulmates. It also carries with us a description of our perception in that season of relationship commitments and relationship devotion. And it is not always in the context of romance, right? Let's make that clear. Not always. The other thing is that this is not necessarily always the case in a monogamous circumstance. There could be several who manifest this commitment or devotion that you have through the relationship sector. Understand, this also does not exclude relationship with yourself, commitment to yourself, devotion to yourself, higher self especially. Understand? So, in Sagittarius, we want to know the specifics. You know, what context is this carrying through Sagittarius, Juno? You know, how does Juno characterize itself in Sagittarius? Well, Sagittarius are among the themes of freedom, personal growth, independence, truth. You understand? Juno, as I just explained, devotion and relationships, commitment. And you put these together, we're talking about topics, themes, experiences of honesty. Okay? Discussions of long-term or big-scale ideas that you see both of you or all of you in together. Okay? Is measuring and discussing what's possible from the opportunity of the relationship. It's discussing how much ground you can cover in personal freedom, how much ground you can cover in growth, how much ground you can cover in independence, how much ground you can cover in learning, expanding, being exposed to new opportunities, and learning through the institution of the relationship itself. Okay, so this is you seeing the relationship as a mobilizing opportunity that mobilizes you with this person or persons, whatever the context may be for you, and you're covering ground. You see that it's more possible sharing influence with this person. It's more possible sharing ideas and perspectives with this person. And what this is about is connection, not attachment. Scorpio is where we struggle with attachment in order to find the connection. We struggle with that there. But when it comes to Sagittarius, this is connection. This is not attachment. Understand? And there are things that have to be discussed. You know, if you find yourself conscious of this energy moving. And among the discussions is, what should commitment look like concerning us? What should commitment look like? You know, if this is what we would do, if this is what we're going to do, okay, remember, this is in anticipation of entering contractual 7th house. Juno, it enters someone or others into the 7th house, okay? Through Juno, you enter the 7th house with someone. And you know that if you enter the 7th house, you will end up in the 8th house if it progresses. That's after the honeymoon. That's when you start moving power together. That usually takes place when Juno progresses into Capricorn. Understand? All right? So, discussions can be taking place such as shared belief, as I mentioned, and come into clarity about where honesty is at. Honesty with yourself, honesty with this person. Are we being honest? Are we being transparent? What does honesty look like for this person? What does honesty look like for me? This is where we see, are we being vulnerable? Is vulnerability being utilized to bring in sincerity? Right? Are we vulnerable enough to be sincere? As I mentioned, the meaning of commitment is being defined between two or more. Okay? What does commitment mean? What does it mean to you? What does it mean to me? Well, to me, it means this. Okay? To you, it means that. Notice that all of these things are philosophical. Okay? Philosophical. Sagittarius is philosophical. So you're sharing philosophical perspectives, ideas, and exchanges so that you can see, where is the compatibility? Where is the match? And you are foreseeing, which Sagittarius does. It looks into the future. You are foreseeing what are the challenges that we can run into, from a relationship standpoint. Based on the feedback of what your philosophies are, based on the feedback of my philosophy and the difference of that, and the fact that we are here to respect each other's freedom, autonomy, and independence, what type of challenges could we run into with our differences? Understand, you're looking ahead, you're looking at the view. You also are expressing and putting out in the air big ideas, what you want to do, what you like to do, what you hope to do, what is possible. And you're painting the sky with expressions of what you feel could mean freedom for you, and the fact that it doesn't really mean anything if you don't have somebody to share those experiences with. It means more if I have somebody to share it with. And this Juno commitment and devotion, it means that there could be someone who you feel is worthy of sharing that sentiment, and someone who you would prefer to share these sentiments with of exploration. Okay? Your Sagittarius house placement, that describes what's behind what you would like to explore, what you need to explore, what you are compelled to explore. Ground that you want to cover. Things that you want to do. And you wanted to include this person. You want to experience with this person. You want them to be part of that witnessing because that is what makes it valuable to you. You need somebody to help you to experience freedom, to help you to experience exploration and new horizons. You understand? So that's part of the expansiveness of Sagittarius. The contagiousness of the energy and enthusiasm. Also, power dynamics. Where are we at when it comes to, monogamy and polygyny? Where are we at when it comes to your idea of fidelity or infidelity? You know what I mean? Financially or, culturally. Where are you at with the ideas that we discuss? Does that sound realistic? Does that sound compatible? You're going over all these different things. It's exploration of someone, and you're looking for a suitable person to express freedom and expansion with. That's the founding thing. And what ends up happening is this person becomes someone who nurtures the authentic version of yourself, because that's what sets the precedence of this connection, is that through Juno, you're connecting with someone who presents to you a Sagittarius expansive opportunity, as you are now present with the Sun transit of Sagittarius and Mars, where through this Juno or relationship opportunity, you see that this is a way of connecting with a proper or appropriate person who has a natural desire and inclination to nurture, to support, and to keep alive the most authentic expression of yourself. As you know, it means you may have to be vulnerable, take risks, take chances, step beyond your comfort zone and boundaries, limitations that is, to see yourself grow. And you realize it has to be more than you that's doing this. You need encouragement. You need support. You need somebody there to tell you, hey, you can do this. I'm proud of you. You know, you're growing. Sure, you can do it. Why would you hesitate? Yes, this is possible. I will go with you. I will help you. Let's try it. Let's explore. You know, so what it is it's like a confidence partner. Someone who's assigned to you to help you grow. Someone who's assigned to you to nurture the new resurrected firebird, flaming phoenix, who resurrected from the ashes of the third decan Scorpio into the first decan Sagittarius, and so forth. A soulmate has manifest to you as opportunity for you to nurture and sustain that growth with this person or persons. All right? This is what it's about. And you have to have someone to share your ideas and thoughts with, share your expressions with, because you have no other way of seeing yourself, of witnessing yourself, or understanding yourself except through relationships. Only relationships can help you to really understand who you are now, the consistent feedback thereof. Sagittarius is not a Debbie Downer. It's not negative. It is very positive. It is optimistic. It is full of zeal, contagious zeal. It has a yes. It doesn't have a no. It only has a yes, a can do, a why not. Action prone. And it does not mind the liabilities if it means I get to test the limitations of freedom. Understand? And so, this person or persons who manifested into your life at this time, don't overlook them. Don't underestimate them. Don't disregard why they are accessible to you right now. Understand? Know why they're there. The point of attraction to this person or persons is the fact that they keep you in the burning, expansive fire of Sagittarius, the fire of truth, the truth that was recovered from Scorpio. It keeps you in the authentic presence of you and your shadows, because you, through Juno, have been matched with someone or some others who like you, love you, appreciate you, honor you, respect you, embrace you, accept you, with your shadows, the good, the bad, and the ugly about you, and they're not judgmental. They like you just the way you are. Understand? Now it's possible you can overlook who this person is. Don't overlook. Don't underestimate. Understand? Who's in your life right now that helps you to expand? That helps you to believe that you can grow, that you can meet your challenges, that there's more to you than what you had the courage to examine and explore or test. Don't take it for granted. This doesn't mean that this is going to be your all in all, okay? You're happy ever after, where you ride off into the sunset and the credits of the movie start coming up. All right? I ain't say that shit. But what I am saying is, guess what? You have free will. They have free will. It's up to you. It's up to him or her. It's up to them. It's up to y'all niggas what's going to come of it. Understand? Because when it comes to soul contracts or soulmates, soulmates are of the free will. It's not like karmic mates. Karmic mates, you ain't ditching that person until you learn your lesson. They're going to be right there until you learn your lesson. Okay? Needles all in your back, thorns and sprains and bruises, cuts, and in misery, until you decide that it's time to learn a lesson of why you are karmically bonded. Okay? But that's a different story. That's not what this is. This Juno mate is not a karmic mate. Alright? It's not a karmic mate. Let me clarify that. That's a whole different ball game. This person doesn't come with tests, burdens, fucking headaches. You know what I mean? All kind of bullshit. This is somebody who's a breath of fresh air. They make you feel free. You know what I'm saying? They remind you of what's possible because you are who you are. You know what I mean? They keep you in memory of the truth of who you are. Now, some people may be very complex and layered, so there may be several people who come and manifest through Juno as witnesses to the different aspects of yourself and the truths of who you are, okay? Everybody's not that way. Some people, okay, it's a little more simplified than that and less complex, but either way, somebody is there keeping you in sight of who you really are and nurturing that expression of yourself. Understand? I'm reminding us to be appreciative of this. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's a new person in your life, okay? This person could have come through Juno Scorpio, Juno Libra, Juno Gemini, who knows? However, this is the context of your soulmate and soul contract relationship opportunity at this time through Juno, okay? This is the specific context of this soul contract. It's Sagittarius. They are here to affect your ability to claim the free and authentic status of the self that has learned to align with truth. Okay? This same person could have been the same one in Scorpio who is helping you to recover the truth in yourself. And now their position is to help you to recover the freedom in yourself. You see, it can ascend. The assignment can ascend. It could be the same person, or that person did their thing, and now somebody else showed up and manifested through that portal, and they're bringing in the meaning of the Sagittarius Juno. But either way, okay, understand. Now, Mars is building up an orbit to a conjunction with Juno. This is the 22nd, so the energy is starting to be felt. You understand? And on what looks like the 30th, okay, so right after the Mercury retrograde, when Mercury stations direct, Mars is going to be conjunct Juno, okay? And with Mars conjunct Juno, you more than likely will decide on a forward or progressing action, okay? A decision that progresses the status between you and his soulmate, okay? Based on the retrograde reflection opportunity that you've had, okay? Understand that. And this takes place as Venus also comes into Sagittarius to assist the Sun with its attraction and manifestation. However, remember that Venus is not going to conjunct. It's not going to catch up with the Sun in Sagittarius. She's going to stay just far enough to be in a combustion position. And that combustion position, it basically has her to not exploit herself, not ball out, you know what I'm saying? Not spend unnecessarily, not, do dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? Just because you caught up in the heat of the moment, she's distant enough to where she's not putting you in a spirit of distraction to where you become impulsive behind your astral body. Instead, the impulse is behind purpose. Okay, the Sun is dominant. So the impulsiveness is behind purpose. But Venus is close enough to support the Sun, but distant enough not to distract the mission of the Sun. Okay, understand that. Because otherwise what can end up happening is you ruin the relationship opportunity for what the meaning really is, and you end up, doing too much. You know what I'm saying? You end up doing too much where you make it all about, fun and glitter and balling out and hitting the club and drinking and, and I don't know, just stupid ass shit. You know what I'm saying? But with Venus being distant enough, you're keeping sight of the meaning that this person helps you to realize in your life. You're keeping sight of that. And Venus is not close enough to the Sun to distract you from that focus. And that makes the relationship richer. Understand that. So appreciate that. You know what I mean? Don't be doing too much. And so there's always a release. I'm saying there's always a blessing, a release, some kind of grace that gets released once Mercury goes direct. And more than likely, the release has everything to do with the crisis that you started the Mercury retrograde with. And that release is usually a solution to that crisis, giving you confidence, restoring confidence and progress and clarity. You know what I'm saying? So at this point now, we have the whole stellium, okay, about to build up in Sagittarius. The traffic jam is now leaving Scorpio and entering into Sagittarius. So this is a completely different energy that we are bringing in, which life is going to go faster. It's going to be action-packed. It's going to be impulsive. It's going to be, do. Enough talking. Let's do it. Let's do this. Let's do that. Plan, do, take action. I need to experience this. I need to know. I need to see. You understand? It's going to be that mode. It's going to be go mode. When the stellium reaches to Capricorn after 2026, that stellium is then going to ask us to put infrastructure and order behind our findings and conclusions, okay, from this influx of experience, adventure, and time spent testing our thoughts, theories, and identities, okay? And that's when we're going to want to get serious about long-term goals, ideas, plans, intentions, and strategies that allows us to make culture, protocol, procedure, lifestyle, and status, okay, of what we have learned and experienced, to make it real, to make it final. Understand? From that position, when the stellium gets into Aquarius, it turns into a service, okay? And what I mean by service is because we have established what we believed in, we now are in position to give back, So it's going to progress. Understand that. It's going to progress. I think some of the main details that I want to point at is relationships are being encouraged. That's a good thing. You know what I'm saying? Relationships are being encouraged. So you should feel encouraged about relationships. You know what I mean? Not scared, running away, shook, shivering in the corner, you know what I'm saying, about relationship possibilities and opportunities. Also, be open, be transparent, be honest. Sagittarius is honesty. You know what I'm saying? You know that when it comes to relationships, the things that's not spoken, the things that's not mentioned, the things that's not brought up, the things that's not said, that's usually what turns into a problem. Because remember, relationships ruled by the 7th house in Libra, it all deals with contracts. That's what 7th house is. It's a house of contracts. So, how would you like somebody slide a contract across the table? They go to all this, fine print, things that are not very clear, ambiguous, you understand, unintelligible. No, there needs to be transparency, clarity, honesty about what are your intentions, what's your capacity in this and that, your do's and don'ts, your likes, what does independence mean for you? What does fidelity mean for you? What are things that are a problem for you or not? All that needs to be put in the air. You know what I'm saying? Put out there, because you don't want to run into misunderstandings, assumptions, disappointment, and accusations later on because of those things. You know what I mean? Now, the purpose of relationships at this time, okay, and this is collective as well. Purpose of relationships at this time is people are realizing from the soul level that what's more appropriate for me is that there's a philosophical point of connection, that there's a philosophical agreement or complement about us, okay, on a philosophical level. Our beliefs should be compatible. What we believe in should be compatible. What we deem to be true or truth should be compatible. Also, what we are passionate about should be complementary or compatible. So these are the things that's being considered the most, if there is to be the possibility of future, in what we got going on. Black Moon Lilith is going to enter Sagittarius, starting a 9-month course, December 24th. Okay, so just before Christmas, Black Moon Lilith hits the 0 degree of Sagittarius, and 9 months from that point, Black Moon Lilith is going to be passing through Sagittarius. Now, what this is going to do is it's going to bring up topics of shame that's related to how you express freedom. It's going to bring up topics of shame into matters of what means personal growth to you and the vulnerabilities that come along with that. It's going to bring up shame concerning independence and the vulnerabilities and inadequacies that you have about how you look as a person who maybe should be independent, but you're not, or maybe there's limitations to your independence. There's a certain capacity about your independence that you wish was better, wider, bigger, stronger, greater. It's inadequacies and shame. It's scrutiny. It is, hold your head down. I feel the impulse to hide this or not, or to cover this. I hope that this person or these people, I hope that they don't mind. I hope that they will overlook this. I hope that they won't accuse me. I hope that they won't judge me. I hope that they won't write me off. I hope that they won't reject me because, of my status in Sagittarius themes. Sagittarius themes are going to include the house themes where you have Sagittarius. So the house themes of that, things are going to come up that you're not proud of. Things are going to come up that you don't like about your situation. Things are going to come up that makes you feel uncomfortable, vulnerable, ashamed, embarrassed, humiliated, vulnerable. Okay? And you are going to want to change it. You're going to be highly motivated to change it. This is why it's very important to contemplate these things and understanding these things, because you have to prepare grace for yourself and you have to prepare grace for others, okay? So whoever you have relationship connections with, rather it's 7th house relationships or 8th house relationships or even 5th house relationships, the dating phase, the honeymoon phase, okay, of relationships. Know that things are going to come up about yourself and things are going to come up about the other person that neither of you is proud of, okay? That both of you or all of you are going to feel embarrassed or intimidated about, okay? Like you don't want somebody to know this. Give each other grace. Give each other grace, because guess what? None of us are perfect. None of us have it all together. All of us have situations going on that requires a lot of explanation. There are things about us that if, it's known, it's exposed, it's talked about, it's shown, then somebody might judge you. Somebody might write you off. They might say, oh, you did this or you did that, or you got this going on, oh, you're a bad person. Oh, you can't be a good person. Or, if you was any type of person, you wouldn't have this, or you wouldn't do that, or you wouldn't be involved with this, or this wouldn't. Don't be so fast to conclude negative things, bad things, judgment, criticism, shame. Please don't do that. For the love of God, don't start that shit. Okay? It's enough of that going on in the world already. Cover each other's faults. Cover each other's vulnerabilities. Encourage each other to feel confidence in places where good and fucking well they don't feel confident. You already know they're struggling to feel good about what they got going on. And be encouraging, be helpful. Cover each other's faults. You know what I'm saying? Move in there and get closer and let the person know, hey, listen, no, don't hold your head down about this. We got to get through this. Okay, so what's the background with this? What exactly happened to where, it turned out this way? Oh, well, such and such happened. Okay. Ask questions, seek understanding. But whatever you do, do not shame anybody. Don't abuse anybody's, emotions, feelings, ego, identity. Don't do that, man. We don't want to repeat what caused us to have to spend a whole fucking year, okay, with Cancer Mars retrograde, Scorpio stellium. That's where it all came from. It came from the fact that we were surrounded by people for generations who cannot be trusted with sensitive information, with secrets, with our vulnerabilities, with our weaknesses, with our imperfections, with generational curses that we didn't know how to handle. It's just so many factors that we just shamed and pulverized each other over. Okay, we just utterly destroyed each other. Okay, made each other feel like, we're just nothing. Okay, We had enough of that legacy. We have to shoot higher. We have to do better. We can't repeat that terrible behavior. It destroys people. It ruins people. And they spend a lifetime attempting to heal it. And many never succeed. They go to the fucking grave with that pain. They go to the grave with it. And you're walking around here tucking your pillow at night, not knowing that you fucked somebody up so bad, they're so fucking damaged. They're so screwed up because of how you treated them. Because of what you did with their secrets. They told you their secrets. They let you inside. They brought you into a vulnerable space with themselves and you betrayed them. Don't betray somebody. Don't do that. We are trusted with each other's secrets. We are trusted to not hurt somebody or harm somebody when they're opening up their vulnerability. That is an ultimate betrayal. Don't you dare do that. Don't you fucking dare hurt somebody after they trusted you with the fucking secrets, man. Don't you fucking do that, yo. I swear to fucking God. Don't do it. So I'm telling you this so you can prepare to know nobody's fucking perfect. Alright? We're coming out of that superficial world where you just write people off, you cut people off, you block people, you delete people, you stop talking to this one and stop talking to that one. No, we're not doing that. That was never the solution. We can't be lazy. We have to learn how to manage relationships, how to heal, how to maintenance relationships. We have to learn how to be there for each other, the good, the bad, and the ugly, the light and the shadow, the ups and the fucking downs. What good are you if you only there when it's time to celebrate? Fuck is that? Why you want people around you that's only there when you at the finish line? When you only there when you only there to celebrate? Only on your good days. What good is that? The moment you show somebody that you're human, that's it? No. We don't need to be that anymore. Don't you know that that's the South Node Virgo? That is what South Node Virgo is about. It's the narcissism of entitlement and perfection of one's identity and image and status. The superficial claim of being so damn perfect and having it all together, and the fear of being exposed for only being human and not so goddamn perfect. I got this and I did that and I'm this status and I'm that status and I got this going on and I own this and I accomplished this and I got that. Everything about you is so fucking perfect. You took all the perfect pictures on Instagram and you got this and you got that. And people have been lying since Neptune entered Pisces and subjected humanity to delusions through the internet. Motherfuckers have been lying, pretending, acting like they're so perfect, acting like they got it all together. Everybody rich, everybody a boss, everybody successful, everybody got good credit, everybody got a bunch of money in the bank, everybody has the perfect mate, everybody has a cookie cutter family, everybody has the perfect this and the perfect that, everybody has the right lifestyle, everybody's a vegan. Niggas is fucking lying. Lying like a motherfucker to fit the standard of what has been erected on the internet. Alright? We ain't doing that shit. We being real now, just like it was before the internet. Yeah, I'm from the generation before the internet. And I know what that world is like. when people were real, not so superficial. Understand? So this is that black moon. Okay, these connections through the soulmate is happening right now, okay? And it will continue to, but once Black Moon Lilith gets into Sagittarius, it's going to, bring up things that you're not proud of. That's what I'm clarifying. Now, at that time, which I'm looking at December 24th, I said, Juno will be in Capricorn, okay? So that shifts the commitment. The context of the commitment, it shifts it to infrastructure. It shifts it to strategy and long-term planning. You see what I'm saying? So in infrastructure long-term planning, you have to work with accurate information, assessment, and review, right? Am I right? Okay. So if that's the case, yes, things are going to come up because you're dealing in accuracies and improper measures. So you're going to run into things that don't fit. You're going to run into things that are not convenient or, that have to be reviewed. You know what I'm saying? Because Capricorn, you're dealing with math. You're dealing with numbers. You're dealing with facts and figures. You're dealing with time. You're dealing with process. You're dealing with discipline, commitment. The infrastructure, the working orders behind the scene that makes a thing structural or gives form to an ideal that is realistic. You know what I'm saying? Understand? So I'm just giving you the heads up that Black Moon Lilith is going to bring up these themes. Now, Black Moon Lilith is also going to bring up themes of, you having reason to feel ashamed of your claim of freedom. Okay, because the feedback is going to keep coming. That's going to make you feel, where people shame you for, for being in the expression of your freedom. People shame you for the things that you proclaim or passionately express as truth. Okay, people shame you for what appears to be your personal growth taking place in live time. You know what I mean? Understand that. Also, your large-scale ideas get negative feedback for that, okay? But your house details, that's different. We have to look at your house of Sagittarius, okay? Whatever house that presides in planets, aspects, there's a lot to consider with that. You want to schedule for a natal birth chart reading to really understand what you're going to be dealing with for the next 9 months, okay? With Black Moon Lilith transiting Sagittarius, this is something that you want to know personally from your natal birth chart. You also want to understand what's going to be happening with Juno transiting your Capricorn, okay? What's going to be going on with the stallion for you personally with Sagittarius and Capricorn, all right? You want to know. So you want to schedule for your personal inquiry to get these details, to get this understanding so, we could expound and, load you up with enough notes, data, information, reflection, to put it all in perspective and set your intentions. You know what I mean? Understand. So, anyway, this is what we got going on. All right? So, niggas already know. Niggas already know what's going on. Prepare for it. Now, Chiron Aries in first house. All right? Chiron Aries in first house. Chiron is the wounded healer. Okay? There's an active wound to the identity. The discomfort, the pain of that. It's the source of healing power from what you teach from those experiences. Understand? A healed person can't heal nobody. A wounded person heals somebody. All right? Wounded people heal. As you heal, Shout out to Sean, okay, who did mention this truth. As you heal, you must feel. Shout out to Sean. You heard? My homegirl Sean. As you heal, you must feel. You know what I'm saying? You can't heal if you're not feeling what the fuck you saying. You know what I'm saying? Fuck is you talking about? You reading out a book, nigga? That shit can't fucking heal. You reading out a book? You quoting? You done memorized and regurgitated some shit? That shit gotta come from the fucking soul. Like it gotta come from the depth of your soul. Only pain can generate that. Fuck is you talking about? You know what I mean? So lean into whatever you're going through with your identity. Lean into it. You know what I'm saying? Lean into it. Ninth house, Sagittarius. Ninth house. Okay? Remember that Sagittarius just also brings the context of the ninth house. Everything that I talked about, okay, goes with the ninth house too. And the fact that ninth house is context here with Juno, respect each other's philosophies. Respect each other's beliefs. Open up to the possibility of how your beliefs and perspectives and opinions can be changed, transformed, or influenced. Open up about it. After all, that's the point here. Experience transfers to philosophy. Sagittarius in ninth house is also the house of student and teacher. So this Juno relationship very well could consist of someone who has a teacher's effect in your life, an enlightener, a mentor, a guru in your life, okay? And with Jupiter being in Cancer, this guru, teacher, or enlightener very well could have the characteristics of a matriarch. Okay? The characteristics of a matriarch is not necessarily a boy or a girl, but it is divine feminine, which could be in person of man or woman. But either way, this person could have a matriarchal effect in your life where they're speaking to your inner child. They're healing your inner child. They're encouraging your inner child. They're enlightening you from the core of yourself, and they bring a moral conviction with them. Okay, these are the signs. If this Juno person, if you think that the person that was manifest through Juno, okay, if you're wondering if it's this person, if this person doesn't have moral force, moral authority, moral power in your life, or you to them, no, that's not it. Okay, morality characterizes this Juno connection. And the morality is what makes it feel safe, is what makes you feel like you could trust this connection. The fact that there is a moral integrity to the situation. Understand? And that Jupiter very well can indicate the personification of a teacher or guru who's in your life right now, who's, guiding you and nurturing you, advocating for you, healing you as you expand. Understand? What else we have going on is, let's see. Okay, remember Mercury is going to pass back over. Mercury is going to cross back over Uranus. Let me get back to where it's at real quick. You know what I mean? Let me look over here. Okay, so in direct motion, that's much later on. All right, that's much later on. Venus, okay, Venus, yeah. Venus is going to oppose Uranus, December 1st. All right? December 1st, Venus is going to oppose Uranus. Now, what can happen here is that a challenge between your stability and your need for freedom, okay? There's a challenge between your stability and need for freedom. And Uranus may make an executive decision that favors your freedom over the illusion of stability, okay? So something can break that illusion of stability, and then you end up in a moment of, damn, well, since I'm free of that now, well, since I'm not tied to that anymore, I see opportunity, or you can start tripping when it happened. You can be like, damn, I really needed that. Oh my God, what am I going to do? Whenever Uranus changes something so suddenly, like a tower moment, he's giving you deliverance from what poses limitation to the unfolding of your soul journey's mission. Keeping you free, keeping you liberated, keeping you authentic. All right? That's deliverance. Uranus never does this without already having the alternative prepared for you. All right? So I'm just giving you that clue. So a change in stability can shift. It's kind of like, okay, you got a plate under a mat, but I got to change the mat. So I slip the mat from under the plate and I put another mat up under it, okay? That's what I'm talking about, is stability, okay? Your plate ain't going to get taken away. It's just that the mat that is under is going to get taken away. The means by which, okay, you manifest or sustain stability can change or alter. And it will have a direct opposition to Venus, which she's governing how you're manifesting or relating to finances and relationships, stepping into Sagittarius. So what this shows is that Venus is more capable of manifesting appropriate relationship and financial opportunities that agree with your need of freedom, that agree with your claim of freedom, that agrees with your intent to freedom. You see what I'm saying? And that's because Uranus got involved in that opposition, saying, okay, I got you. Your relationships and your means of finances, it has to be in such a way that keeps you free to continue this exploration and expression, especially with this soulmate. You know what I'm saying? And that's when Venus is going to be characterized with, I support your soul's mission that you have found a way of expanding. I'm right behind you. You see what I'm saying? I'm right behind you. So Venus is walking right behind the sun the whole time that the sun is going through Sagittarius season. Venus is right there. I'm right behind you. I got you. So as that thing changes in Taurus, you ain't tripping, because Venus is like, okay, no, don't worry. I got you. Keep walking. Keep going. You know what I'm saying? Keep moving. You're destined for this. You know what I'm saying? This is when, at the same time, you end up taking the action with the soulmate. Mars conjunct Juno. There's an action that you're taking with the soulmate. It's provided for in a divine way, okay, by Venus. It's sustained in a divine way, and you end up moving in the direction of, possibly some things that y'all discussed or went over or planned, you know what I'm saying, or whatever else. This also, again, can be in the context of what you are committed to in yourself in your life, what you are devoted to in yourself in life, okay? Don't just reduce this to somebody who you think is cute. You know what I'm saying? Open your mind up. Open your mind. Now, also at the same time that this, of this date, December 1st, I'm still talking about, the moon is conjunct Chiron. Okay, so the moon has a nurturing effect. It has a healing and nurturing effect. But just because it's a healing and a nurturing effect don't mean that it necessarily feel good. It means that it's going to bring light, the soft light of the moon, which is the moon is suggesting what care is needed, what advocacy is needed, okay, what attention is needed to the wound of the identity. And she's supporting you. And this could also bring in support of matriarchal forces in your life through persons who carry matriarchal wisdom right on time to support you in places where you feel wounded in your identity because of the change that Uranus made as something that you felt you were sourcing your stability through. Okay? And that helps you to keep focus on what Sagittarius has planned for you with that stellar. As Venus is walking behind, you know what I'm saying, with the connections in the purse, but she ain't getting too close to you to where she spoils, you know, the focus. You know what I mean? It's like she could go on her purse and write you a big ass check. You know what I'm saying? She could just, you know, blow the whistle and have all kind of soulmates and whatnot just come out the bushes, you know, with, you know, balloons and confetti. But she's not there to distract you. She's there to support you. You know what I'm saying? Supporting you and distracting you is two different things. You know what I mean? She ain't there to distract you. You know, so she's dressing modestly as she walk with you. She ain't gonna show you the ass. She ain't gonna show you the titties while she walking with you. You know what I'm saying? She put on, you know what I mean, a cardigan. She put on, you know what I'm saying, a hijab. She put on, you know what I'm saying? She ain't showing you all the curves and all that because she ain't trying to distract you. But she's there, you know what I mean, to let you know, I support you, I'm with you, I got your back, don't worry. You know what I'm saying? Do your thing. You know, bring in that heart, soul, urge expression, that vibration, and make sure you match it with freedom so that you can feel who you really are and confirm. You know what I'm saying? Don't doubt about nothing. I got you, huh? So she doing one of those. So anyway, like, share, subscribe, show your support. You know what I'm saying? And all of that. Lean into love, lean into compassion, keep it real. Yo, stop believing the fucking bullshit nigga on fucking media, you heard? Them niggas is lying, all right? Stop believing the bullshit on the media, okay? It's a big fucking, it's a cartoon show. It's Saturday Night Live, all right? Stop believing the bullshit, all right? It's a reason why there's propaganda right now, okay? To fearmonger against Muslims, to fearmonger against these people, against that people, and it's white national males who's stirring up division, animosity, fear-mongering in this nation. White nationalist males. And the people who worship them are helping them. Benjamin Netanyahu cut a big-ass check for social influencers and for, you know, these Instagram accounts and everything else to push white Christian nationalism. And to push propaganda of fear-mongering against Muslims, okay? So you gotta know what's going on. You can't just be walking around whistling, you know, because ignorance is dangerous. Understand that. You know what I'm saying? Donald Trump up here, you know, oh, the Christians are being persecuted in Nigeria, you know, and all these other things. I don't wish that on nobody. All right. But the point that I want to make is just like it comes up in the news, you know, with Netanyahu, oh, Hamas did this and Hamas did that. Trump is doing the same thing. OK, with, oh, the Muslims did this and the Muslims did that. But yet they don't tell you, OK, that they use their own people to put on a Hamas T-shirt or a Muslim, you know what I'm saying, garb or whatever, to go and do their dirty work through the CIA and all these other, you know, operations in order to justify through your sentiment what they already have planned to do that otherwise would be a moral, a moral objection. So to get around the moral objection, they have to fabricate such illusions. Manifest destiny is what Trump is on in Nigeria. Resources, oil, same thing with Venezuela. It doesn't mean that the Nigerians and the Venezuelans don't have reason to want, to desire, to need help, aid, support against oppression that's taking place in the country. But it does mean that you can't be so You can't be so fucking gullible to think that they would not go the extent as to engineer these conflicts that from the people's perception are natural, but it's not. And that's how you create useful idiots. You create useful idiots because in ignorance of the people in Venezuela, in ignorance of people in Nigeria, in ignorance of people in America, they don't get to see how they stage, they create, they instigate certain outcomes that gains and wins the moral leverage and frustration and sentiment of the people in order to justify without moral objection or moral conscientious objections what their agenda already is. There's oil, there's resources, there's land to grab, and it's manifest destiny just as it always has been. This is not about religion. It's not about faith. It's not about good deeds. It's the same dirty work that the nation has been built upon. Ain't nothing fucking new. Fuck out of here.